gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host, Saieed. We do want to thank you for joining us tonight, viewers. The Friday have started in Trinidad and Tobago. Remember, viewers, parts of our country is under flood. There's a lot of rain taking place in several parts of Trinidad and Tobago. There are floods. If you're going out tonight, be very careful, viewers. You know, just something I need to say, because let me tell you something. The rain today from south to central was ridiculous. I almost had to back on the shoulder. That is to tell you how heavy the rain was. But nevertheless, viewers, if you're going out tonight, please be careful. Don't drink and drive, because you know how it is these days with the rain. But nevertheless, an update for you Trinidad and Tobago concerning our boss. Our boss, viewers, that the Coast Guard did. And we want to congratulate the Coast Guard tonight. We want to congratulate them. Over $29 million in cannabis was seized off the coast of Trinidad on Friday. According to the TTPS, in collaboration with the Coast Guard, an international partner, a fishing vessel of Point Fortin was intercepted around 3 a.m. Officers recovered 9 crocus bags containing 268 packets of high-grade Colombian creepy marijuana, weighing 268 kilograms, valued at $29.4 million. 2 suspects, a Trinidadian and a Latin American, were detained while 3 others escaped into the sea. Well, they probably jump overboard. Viewers, more on this when information becomes available. So all those individuals who was bragging them out now about Venezuela and Trinidad and Tobago and the drugs and the cartels, now you see why the US have Marines in the Caribbean Sea. Now you all understand why. The Coast Guard together with Trinidad and Tobago Police Service in collaboration. $29.4 million in drugs. So all of you who backing up the tree, oh, Kamala shouldn't say this and Kamala shouldn't say that. Let me tell you something. Maybe she could have said it in a better way, but then at the end of the day, that is anti-Kams. That is anti-Kamala. You understand? We may not like how she say it. Her words may not be selective, but at the end of the day, we understand that someone needs to stand up and face the drug lords. Someone needs to do that. Anti-Kam is that person? So be it. So be it. May God protect her. I recently saw where Dulce Rodriguez, the vice president for Venezuela, is warning Kamala Persad-Bissessar, the prime minister for Trinidad and Tobago, under the UNC government that is governing Trinidad and Tobago presently. So my thing is now, why would a vice president of Venezuela send a threat or a warning to the prime minister? Why? So I want to ask Dulce Rodriguez this question. The boats that were blown up by the U.S. Marine, did Trinidad and Tobago blow up that boat? Did Guyana blow up that boat? No. Your fight, Ms. Rodriguez, is not with Trinidad, neither Guyana. And I want the population to understand that. The vice president of Venezuela, Dulce Rodriguez, her fight, take it to the U.S. Take it to the U.S. Trinidad Coast Guard, neither Guyana Coast Guard, did not intercept and blow up that boat that they say were filled with cocaine. So you see, sometimes, viewers, you just have to listen. You just have to listen to those in authority and understand what I'm saying. Imagine a ship get blown up outside, the US blow up a ship, saying it is carrying drugs. You know who carrying the blame now? Trinidad carrying the blame, Guyana carrying the blame, according to Dulce Rodriguez. You're blaming us. We didn't do that. The US did it. Go to the US and fight them. Not Trinidad, neither Guyana. It happened in international waters. So let Maduro and his regime fight with Donald Trump and his administration. It's simple. It's simple. Now, that's my take on that. So, current affairs in our country. A violent altercation between a student and a parent at the Arima North Secondary School is being investigated by both the Ministry of Education and TTPS. During a cabinet briefing on Thursday, Education Minister Michael Dowlett addressed the situation along with other incidents outside of the El Dorado Secondary School. He said counseling sessions were conducted for affected classes. Dowlett.
The ministry intervened immediately because the community police visited the school, and assembly was held with all the students, and counseling sessions were conducted with the affected classes, and a parent conference has also been arranged. At El Dorado East, the matter is receiving urgent attention from the school administration and supported by the TTPS.
During a press briefing held at the Police Administration Building in Port of Spain on Thursday, Deputy Commissioner of Police Junior Benjamin said the child and his father from Arima North Secondary School both reported the matter to officers at the Tunapuna Police Station. He warns that these acts of violence will not be tolerated by the TTPS. So hopefully we're looking for charges in the coming weeks. Listen to this.
This situation is unacceptable and will not be tolerated by the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. The investigation will continue, and I want to tell you that we will ensure that we leave absolutely no stone unturned as we seek to ensure a level of order, a level of safety and security in our school environment, both inside the school and outside the school, so that our children could feel safe when they come at least to the school for learning.
So Trinidad and Tobago, this is what the school system needs. And again, I want to thank Michael Dowlett, the Minister of Education under the UNC government that is governing Trinidad and Tobago presently. We do want to thank them publicly for bringing some sort of safety back into the school system in our school. Also, we want to thank the TTPS for working in collaboration with the Ministry of Education. So, having said this now, Trinidad and Tobago, I ask myself, why is it that the PNM administration, Gatsby Dolly, didn't bring this into effect? Remember, she did say it is the PNM students, the PNM children. Remember that, Trinidad and Tobago? But nevertheless, whether it's UNC children or PNM children, the Ministry of Education, there's no race that's going to divide education. No race. Education is for all. Whether you're red, you're white, you're black, it doesn't matter what race or religion you're from. Education for all. And that is very, very good. Now, Manning. Yeah, this now. It's real bacchanal in Trinidad and Tobago store, enough, enough. Minister of Local and Rural Development, Khadija Amin, has stated, that relief will be given to dismissed URP workers and to the general population. Amin stated that persons can now apply for relief under the purview of the Ministry of the People. Vandana Mohit. Listen to this.
Unlike the callous treatment that the last government meted out to those persons they fired from that same program when they took office, relief will be provided to those who apply and qualify for social welfare grants under our very new and astute Minister of the People, Ms. Vandana Mohit. Mr. Speaker, relief will be provided to the general population because getting rid of corruption and ghost gangs and criminals will make more money available to this country. Relief will be provided to those workers as well as the general population because the money saved from that corruption that was so rampant under the last government will be utilized to create new jobs, meaningful jobs to real people, not ghost gangs and not ghosts in the office. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
So Trinidad and Tobago, everybody know that we all hear this talk about ghost gangs, ghost gangs, ghost gangs. We heard about people having jobs but not going to work and they getting paid for it. Well, today, I believe all the ghost gangs have been eradicated. Let's just hope so. Let's just hope so. Speaking on the matter, Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissess has stated that her government has plans for job creation, saying that corruption must be weeded out. How many Prime Ministers said that? And how many Prime Ministers actually went forward in doing it? Listen to this.
I think it was yesterday. I love people, but I don't like ghosts. And therefore we have to weed out the corrupt ones. We have to weed out the ghosts. You'd have seen the URP chairman gave an interview, carried in one of the papers today, where he outlined how, what, when, where. So we cannot continue this. But what is even more important, our intelligence coming from the TTPS and the other protective services is not just about the corruption in the ghost gangs, is the infiltration by criminal elements. And as you know, I am totally against any criminality at any stage. Maybe you'll say we can't stop it from the days of Adam and Eve, but we have to do all we can to root out criminality. That is a very important factor in the exercise that we are undertaking with the URP. The Minister just answered in Parliament questions about how we take care of persons who have lost their jobs, what can be done. She did give some good answers today in the Parliament with respect to the way forward. In terms of jobs, we do have several measures going forward for creating jobs.
So Trinidad and Tobago, she noted that the population would hear more about the plans in the national budget soon. Now, speaking yesterday, MP Brian Manning accused the ministry of targeting his constituency. How come? How come? Listen to this.
The minister callously waited until the beginning of the new school term to send people home, without a care in the world for how they're going to take care of their children, pay for them to complete the school term, how they're going to take care of their families. Many of the employees in the URP and CPEP programs were unfortunately unskilled single mothers, some of the most vulnerable people in Trinidad and Tobago. And this government and the Ministry of Local Government simply do not care about how these people are going to make a living.
Manning also said he would fight for the workers and the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Listen to this.
We are here to say that we believe that San Fernando East is being victimized by the Ministry of Rural Development and Local Government. We are going to refer these workers here, along with others who decide to sign up, to the PNM attorneys so that they can take this matter to court. in the laws of Trinidad and Tobago, you cannot fire people without cause.
So now Trinidad and Tobago, we're going for a short commercial break, but when we come back, we're going to elaborate a little more on Brian Manning, on what he said under URP. And we're going to go back a little bit about someone who tried to take the government to court concerning CPEP. And we're going to relate the two together. More when we return.
We'll be right back.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the blaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com. Throws you a curveball, and you need a clear path forward. Trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Welcome back.
When CPEP workers went home, everybody started to protest. PNM wanted to go to court. So one or two ministers, contractors, everybody flare up. When documents start to release now, everybody back down. Everybody back down. All right, good. Big statement all over social media conference, all sorts of things. Boom, we hear nothing about that because documents start coming out. Everybody get quiet. So the URP now, I believe 400 of them went home. Brian Manning is saying now that he's going to fight for the people. They are targeting his constituencies and stuff like that. So in the coming days, we are going to wait now for documents to come out. We are going to wait for documents to come out. Let's see how much ghost gangs are there now. Yep. And then we're going to see who is going to go forward now supporting the people. Now, I'll tell you something. Yes, we understand in CPEP about 10,000 went home. But what you had to look at, you can't blame the people, you know. Was the contracted documents in order? And that was the problem right there. Was the contracted documents in order? Was it up to standard to get contract? Was it cabinet approved the contracts? And that was the problem. Because when they fire the contractor have to come now and fire people. The people would blame the government. But the people now ask yourself this question. The contractor that you're working for, is his document in order? Everybody wants to blame the government. You want to blame the government. You want to blame the government. But nobody is asking the contractor who got the contract if your document is in order. And that is the problem we have in. That is the problem. Same thing with URP now. want you to keep in mind, I don't support no party, you know. My job as an independent individual who pay for my own show, we try to bring the truth to you, the citizens. Because the truth is what you deserve to hear. That is why I just say UNC or PNM, I am not on their scale. I am not. I am an independent person in Trinidad and Tobago who is funding a show on Synergy Television Mondays to Friday for the last 8 years to let you know what is taking place. 10,000 people want to blame the government because they get sent home. Did the 10,000 people ask their contractor if their documents was in order? Here's the reason why all get sent home. The government didn't fire all you. The government fired the contractors. And nobody had understand that. Nobody. Why nobody had understand that? Because 10,000 people wants to blame the government. The government just get rid of the illegal contractors, that is all. When you realize the contracts give out taxpayers' money spending, but no approval, no proper documents, your contractor calls you to be home, not the government. No, I will say this again. The contractor that the government fired caused you all to be home. Because if the contract was proper, you would have been working today. Nobody don't want to understand that. Absolutely nobody. Oh, the government come and the government send me home. You work for the government or you working for the contractor? Which one? Which one? Do you work for the government or the contractor? And you answer your own question right there. So same thing with the URP now. They found that people, imagine, out of 100% of people, let's just say 10,000 people or 20,000 people or 30,000 people, right? But let's just use a figure of 1,000 people. Let's just say that. Out of 1,000 people registered under URP, 20% of that 1,000 people going to work. So what happened to the next 80? The next 80 is what you would call a ghost gang. Nobody is saying nothing. Call a good night.
A very, very good evening to you, Mr. Saeed.
Go right ahead, my friend, you're live.
The corrupt PNM is supporting corruption. So the saying, birds of feathers flock together, is so true. But I want to say one more thing. In the days of the West, when the pioneers was settling and whatnot, they used to hang horse thieves. And I want them to start hanging cat thieves in Trinidad, all of it.
Thank you, my friend. Now, I want you to understand something, citizens. I want you to understand this. And I really hope all you would get it. Imagine, I am just using a all-round figure, right? But I will get the amount of ghost gang it had, the amount of individual it had, the amount of contractors it had. But I am just using my own summary for you to understand. Out of 1,000 people, just saying, you would tell me 20% of that 1,000 people going to work? A 1,000 people and only 200 people going to work? What happened to the next 800? You're signing and you're getting paid. But you're not showing up to work. How does that feel? How does it look? With the repercussion. So when that contractor now get cut, and it's obvious the individuals who were hired under that contractor and they would lose their job. So who are you going to blame now? The contractor or the government? You were hired under the contractor for a project. And this is what I want you to understand. But we blame the government, we blame the government, we blame the government. How could you blame the government when you were employed under a contractor? Penelope wouldn't come out and educate you like that. Marvin Gonzalez would not come out and educate you like that. Faris Al-Rawi, together with Colin Imbud, would not come out and educate you like that. All they would say is that the government sent home 10,000 people. But they would never say the contractor got fired and thousands of people went home. They would not educate you like that. You know who would do that? A man like Saieed. A man like Saieed, for you to understand why you're home. Nevertheless, shifting gears a bit. Finance Minister Devendranath Thakur have defended the dismissal of 400 workers from the Unemployment Relief Program, URP, saying the opposition has no moral authority to criticize the move. Thakur said in 2015, when the PNM won the general election, URP workers all were locked out of the office and immediately fired. No explanation, no notice, and not a cent by the same PNM government that is pretending to care for workers today. However, opposition leader Penelope Beckles accused the UNC of hypocrisy, saying that in addition to the 400 URP workers now dismissed, more than 300 CPEP contractors have been removed earlier this year. Listen to this.
I wonder if you all know that the PNM honored those contractors. We didn't change. We didn't change not one of them. We kept the employees. We kept the contractors. They come into office now in 2025 and they have short memories and they get rid of not only the contractors that came in recently, but even those that were there before.
Tuning to Wednesday's URP termination, Beckles said workers in all 12 regional corporations were affected. Now hold on. Listen to this, Turning to Wednesday's URP termination, Beckles said workers in all 12 regional corporations were affected. Hold that, Trinidad and Tobago, hold on, righty. I'm going back to the Manning story now. Hold on. I want to let you understand something. Speaking yesterday, Brian Manning accused the ministry of targeting his constituency. His constituency, So if Penelope is saying that in 12 regional corporations, URP workers were affected, how Brian Manning could come out and say now that they're targeting his constituency? Oh God, somebody say something now. Run that video, director.
In Arima, they went with 51 letters. Could you believe that in one day? I mean, what kind of shame? These people have any shame? You go and fire 51 people? And I want to say to those of you who are working in head office, watch out for tomorrow. Many of you who are here, whether you have children or you don't have children, you understand the pain, the suffering, the frustration of losing your jobs almost for no reason.
So hear this now. Penelope said 51. How sad it is. Penelope forgot. She forgot when the PNM cabinet took the decision to shut down the refinery. Penelope forgot that Trinidad and Tobago has laughed sometime, Penelope seems to forget when Clong and Burt and the PNM cabinet decided to raise the gas for the third time. How much people had to park up their vehicle because they couldn't afford to put the gas in it. She seemed to forget that. And Clongenbert now, we raise gas once, nobody here riot. We raise gas twice, nobody here riot. We raise gas 3 times, and still nobody here riot. I remember the time they laughed at the bargee man and the dal man and the fish man. They laughed at the market vendors. How many of you all remember that? I draw reference to show earlier. I ain't for no party, no, but I draw reference to show earlier. Call a good night. Hello? Hello?
You hear me?
Yes.
Sir.
Go right ahead. I'm listening to you.
Right. You see why when the PNM ruled, you see why crime escalates 600, 700 murders under the PNM? Because there was funding and support criminality, sir. It is now that the public could see clearly that with the CPEP and with the URP and all these things, how much of the criminals, that is why under our UNC government, that is why crime would drop.
Correct.
That is why exactly crime would drop, because you cut the source of funding for the criminality. Why is it that the opposition leader, always, they are supporting everything that is wrong, calling on Kamala, to say don't support US. Why don't support US? They are our major trading partners, sir. You are supporting Venezuela. What about all that money that we paid for Dragon gas?
Correct.
Did we receive any of that gas? I am calling this on this government. Send in the Auditor General for that $6 billion, $3 billion that was missing on that impact. Let the Auditor General, not no BDO or no private auditor, go and audit them. Let me have the constitutional auditor to go and audit that. Too much things, but I'm trying to ask you, sir, whatever went right under the PNM, whatever, under Rowley Watch, it is under Rowley Watch, so I am calling for the government to take decisive action. They are on the right road. Column Imbert must answer for all those missing funds, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, my friend. So Trinidad and Tobago, Penelope said, how could you love people and fire them? Listen this, we go talk after.
And I remind you, because you would have been sitting at home and you would have been watching the swearing in of the Honorable Kamla Prasad Bisesa. Every word. I love you. I love you. I love my people. How you just love people and fire them? How do you love single mothers and send them home?
I love how she said that, So listen this now. Listen this now. How could Clongenbert love the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago and raise gas? Well, let's say something. 3 times. Marvin said, we are working for the people. Marvin got 40% increase. And then on top of that now, Marvin telling you now, your children might throw tantrum at you, but they wouldn't understand. You have to carry them out 1 time for the month. Or you're begging for discussion. Let me tell you something. Workers begging for discussion to get a raise up pay. 4% or nothing. And the SRC found it fit to give them an increase. They found it fit after having telling earlier. All had to carry $1 trend 1 time for the month because all can't afford it. Marvin got a 40% increase and you had to settle for 4%. All love the people so much, Penelope. Trinidad and Tobago, my job is to just bring the truth to all here, So I am showing you what this party is doing, and I am telling you what this party is doing. How you all seen it? Through video clips. That is how you all seen it. So when Penelope now, hold on, before I go there. Penelope talking about love and fire. when Clongenberg raised the gas price 3 times, why Penelope didn't say Clongenberg love the people? Barbados, last year May, dropped the gas price. Guyana dropped the gas price. War in Ukraine. The cabinet took the decision, the PM cabinet took the decision to raise the gas price. They love all you. They love all you. Let me tell you something. When I come here and I reveal the truth to all you, I reveal it to the UNC, the PNM, and all the other parties. All the other parties. Not just a particular party. That's not Saeed. Call a good night.
Saeed, great program as usual. And you presented the facts to the citizens of this country, to make this country a better place. So this red, dangerous, destructive mafia organization, shameless, because you're so shameless, and all of you so shameless. Patrick Manning's son, you all are so shameless, coming to call people who want to carry this country forward, who want to make this country a better place. You calling them shameless? It have nobody more shameless than you all. What Beckett should be telling the citizens of this country, how they discriminate against one group in particular in this country. Tell the citizens how a Trinidad and Tobago Defense Forces state agency has 1% of a particular ethnic group. Tell the citizens how a police service has 5% of a particular ethnic group. And Patrick Manning's son, your father called Petro Singh, because at the time he made that statement, there was only 19% of a particular ethnic group there. And he says, now you come in to say people can't get up just so and fire people. It's not firing, you have to clean up the mess you all leave this country in. What you should also be doing is telling the citizens, those over 500 police officers on suspension, how many of them had URP contract? How many of them had CPF contract? That's what you all should be telling the citizens of this country, because and Manning's son, this country is fixed. Mr. Saeed, you continue to present the facts to the citizens of this country and continue doing the job that you are doing in an effective way as you are doing. God bless you and your staff, Mr. Saeed.
Thank you, my friend. So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break. When we come back, Imbut, the UNC government is struggling. Let me tell you something. We have a lot to talk about when we come back from this break.
We'll be right back.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the glaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com. Throws you a curveball, and you need a clear path forward. Trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on a roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Welcome back.
So Trinidad and Tobago, Diego Martin Northeast MP Clongenberg have stated that this government is struggling. He said, that there have been several complaints that persons have not yet received their salaries, retrenchment of workers, among others. Clongenbert.
The present administration is really struggling. It's obvious, they're struggling. Every day we get another story, a new story about somebody who didn't get their salary, about somebody who didn't get their benefits. I see you all going out already, so they... I think all else time this thing, you know. Anyway, every day we have a new story. Salaries being paid late, salaries not being paid at all, deductions not being made, standing orders not being processed, people not getting their allowances, and of course, thousands of people being retrenched. Bills are not being paid, suppliers are not being paid, because the government is struggling.
Trinidad and Tobago, I want you all to understand something. Why is the UNC government struggling to pay bills if Clongenbert's statement is true? Tell us why. Tell us why. Who now came out of 9 years of being the Minister of Finance? Clongenbert. If Clongenbert and his team did not have ideas to create funding to go back into the treasury, how could there be a sustainable amount of money in the treasury? Ask yourself that. Ask yourself that. You see, one thing Clongenbert would not come out and say is that how much money they created to put in the treasury. The UNC government, when they left office, they said how much they met, how much they created, and how much they left. How come Clongenbert didn't do that yet? Common sense. How come Clongenbert now and made that statement? And that is the statement I am looking forward for. How come? Oh, new story, people are getting paid. All right, number one. Without corruption. Ghost gang, CPEP, URP, forestation. When the contractors go, who going underneath? Again I say, again I will say, the 10,000 people that would have gotten laid off from CPEP is because of the person they were working for lost their contract. How come no lawyers now and no PNM ministers now ain't going to court for CPEP again? How we are hearing them going to court? Somebody say something. Call a good night. Hello? Hello? Go right ahead, you're live.
Yes, Mr. Saeed, pleasant night to you. I watch your program every single night once on TV.
Thank you, my friend.
It's a woman was on the TV. It hurt me just to even pronounce her name. Well, when she talking, she's stupidness. Hello?
Yeah, I'm listening. Go ahead. Just watch your language.
She talking about the unfairness with Kamala, but that woman is a loving woman. You have children, Mrs. Saeed, I have children.
Correct.
And when we do something wrong, the politician is a cutting or whatever, and you're still up there.
Mm-hmm.
You with me, Mr. Saeed? So you're correcting the child by straightening out the child. And
yes.
This next one now, people tend to forget because they have a short memory. This woman who was in the PNM government, Gopi Spoon or whatever she named, in the US, she son was in a party boat on the but they have she son was partying on the sea. And nothing come out of that, and I'm still waiting to hear. And a boy putting that biggest evil face man on the TV, they call him good. And you've given the right name, Clongenbert. Have a good night, Mr. Saieed.
Thank you, my friend. So, viewers, it's that time now to go for a short commercial break. You know, they say when anything going sweet. But what are you going to do? The director, I like when it is going break. You know why? When the drum beating is to beat the drum. But nevertheless, Trinidad and Tobago, listen this, Embod stated that the UNC made foolish promise that they could not keep, and added that the PNM did so much for revenue earning in TNT. Listen to Embod.
If you look at what the PNM has done for this country and done for people in this country, but one of the reasons is they made too many foolish promises. Far too many foolish promises. Promises that they could never keep. And I'll give you an example. In Trinidad and Tobago, we have been fighting to grow government revenue so that we could do a number of different things. And the PNM has done so much. And I want you to understand, when the PNM gets back into government, this is the way we will deal with matters.
So I'll tell you something, Trinidad and Tobago. I want you, the people, to tell me, Saieed, I'm going to tell you something. I am open to being wrong from the public. I am open for that. Hence the reason why I am making the statement. You, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, call this program and tell me how much revenue stream that the government created in Trinidad and Tobago other than bringing out new taxes to tax you, the population. Feel free to tell me. Call the program, insult me, embarrass me. I am open to it. This is how bold I am. Insult me on television. Embarrass me. But I want to ask yourself, how much revenue stream did Embod and the PNM government open in Trinidad and Tobago without creating taxes that you would have to pay? Come out and tell me. Call a good night.
Yes, I. Good night.
You're live. Go right ahead.
Yes, I. What about property tax?
Thank you.
And that was the man's favorite thing. The man worked 10 years.
Yep.
To develop property tax and come not straight away in 10 days.
And if you have pay, caller, if you have pay property tax, they come and just take your house.
Yeah, and the man raised gas how much time? 4 times? 5 times?
3 times.
Let me tell you something, right, Saieed? I want to make this short.
Tell me.
You see that previous government, them passed a budget last year, and you telling me half of the year gone, and when the new government come into office,
they have no money.
They have no money.
Exactly.
Almost $60 billion.
Correct.
Where all that money gone?
Ask them, but
people need to account for the money that's missing, and the new government had to come now and take an extra $3 billion to run out the fiscal year.
Correct.
You tell me where all that money gone? How them ministries dry up for funds?
Yep.
Somebody need to answer this thing.
Yes.
And this is the same thing that the local government minister was talking about. The level of corruption it has in the ministries. And the only way to get rid of the corruption is you have to weed it out.
Correct.
And if people need to be sent home and rehired back, that's what they have to do. But
correct.
You see, Trinidadians, they're lazy. They like to go there 6 o'clock in the morning and by 7:30 they reach back home in the house. That's the kind of work they like here. People don't know about working for 8 hours and things. All these Venezuelans coming across here and they're working. How they're making a whole day work.
Yes.
Working from 6 in the morning, 6 in the evening.
Yes.
Construction. And these fellas that are making it.
Yep.
These people progressing in weak countries. And we can't progress in our own country.
True.
Something ought to be wrong with we here. All people like here is freeness. And I'm glad that PNM come out of power by side. Just that tell it. I'm very glad that they out of it. Because now we can breathe out a sign of relief. We just had to give the new UNC government a chance to try and change things in this country. But they're going to be rough. People need to understand that. Anyway, I don't want to take up too much of your time by side. You enjoy your night.
Thank you, my friend. So viewers, Clung is now asking the government, where is the public servant 10% wage increase? I want to ask Colin Mimbert, how long did the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago asking for negotiation considering 4%? I want to ask Clung Mimbert that. Almost 9 years. Almost 9 years or more. Imagine pilots in Trinidad and Tobago had to strike. Nurses had to strike. Hey, listen, if the police and them could have strike. To this date, SRP ain't get a back pay as yet. To this date. I don't want to talk now, man. Let me tell you something. I just always say me for no political side, you know. But the truth, I will bring the truth to you from both parties. And it's you now to open your eye. You can't come at me, you know. Let me tell you something. They can say what they want. They could say what they want. They can't come at me for talking the truth. You can't. What revenue stream did Clung Mimbert create to raise revenue without bringing a tax to you, the citizen? Ask yourself that. Which revenue stream he created? Property tax. That's one. Raise gas 3 times. Let's come now, man. Let's say something now. Say something. I am bringing the reality to you. Hence the reason why I could come on national television and ask him a direct question. And they will go right or wrong the merry-go-round. But you cannot go on the merry-go-round. You know why? Because the merry-go-round is where the truth comes out. You can't go on that. You have to go around that. You want to know where the 10% is? Port workers. The magistrate had to come out and tell port workers, pick up all the tools and go back to work. End of the protest. How long they protesting now, Clung Mimbert? For 4%? Come now, man. All I want to talk now, man. Talk. You see, Trinidad and Tobago, Clung Mimbert them, and ministers, they are protected under the privilege of the parliament. So they could bicker and bite on one another in the parliament. But outside in the streets is where the real lives take place. It's where the real humanitarian effort does go. It's where the real sweating as a laborer does take place. Not in the parliament. Imagine Trinidad and Tobago paying taxes so that politicians could inherit taxes to bring out policies to what? Tax all your more. Imagine that. I Saieed paying my tax and company tax. Right? We select an individual, we put them there, and them getting paid with perks to bring out policies to cause me to pay more money so them could benefit more. Imagine that, eh? Imagine that, Trinidad and Tobago. So while all you're fighting about this party and that party and the next party, how much y'all had dollar in all your house? How much y'all have money to buy gas in all your house? How much y'all getting a 3 square meal for the day? Ask yourself that. And this is what Saieed has been fighting for. A better life for the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. But know what you want to do? Saieed, boy, you bad talking the PNM? No, I ain't bad talking. Look at the CPEP contract. Look how much documents come out. Look how much contractors get fired. We are hearing about ministers going in court to fight for CPEP workers. All that done. Saieed, you're bashing them. No. Documents coming out. Corruption cut in. Even the PNM children now could feel safe in school because they have police officers. Even the PNM children now could feel safe now that if a PNM child beat up a PNM child, they're going to get expelled from school. So you now could go to school now with ease. Well, I wouldn't believe it like that. You know, but it's sad of me now to say I had to use a statement as a PNM child. The minister selected for education, Gasby Dolly, said that. She said that. I'll get back the video for all you Monday. Trinidad and Tobago, let me tell you something. I just come here to tell you the truth. I just come here to open all your eyes. I just come here to educate all you. I don't come here to fight down one another, and I want all you to understand that. I just come here so you all could be educated. You all could understand what's going on in Parliament. You all could understand what you're supposed to be getting. How did you feel when Marvin Gonzalez tell you that you had to carry out your children one time for the month? How do you feel when Marvin Gonzalez and his team tell all you only have 4% to get when the SRC raised them by 40%? How do you all felt about that? All you feel good? It's sad, eh? Yeah. While all eating macaroni pie with one egg in it, Marvin Gonzalez putting a whole crate of egg in he won, and then watching all and laughing. It's sad, but that's just the reality. That's just the reality. Trinidad and Tobago. So hear this now, Diego Martin Northeast MP Clongenberg is now blaming the decision making under the former leadership of the PNM for its loss of the April 20th general election. All you hear that? Let me read it for you again. Diego Martin Northeast MP Clongenberg is now blaming the decision making under the former leadership. Technically, is he blaming Keith Rowley? Is he blaming Keith Rowley of the PNM for its loss of the April 20th general election? He quoted a recent statement or a memory by Kamala Harris, the man quoted from the US again now, who had alleged hostility towards her from individuals in the camp of former UNC President Joe Biden, whom she stepped in to replace at the last minute against Republican candidate Donald Trump. So is Clongenberg blaming Keith Rowley? Listen to this video.
If you look at what the PNM has done for this country, and done for people in this country, and done for ordinary people, every single institution in this country was designed and built by the People's National Movement. Every single one. Every single thing that we enjoy as a people, free education, free healthcare, that is a PNM policy. Old age pension, is PNM come up with that? Is Dr. Eric Williams come up with that? They didn't have that before?
Don't tell us that the government come, government go. Policies come, policies go. That is one thing I want to let you understand. How much government institution right now owing Wasanti and Tech? Why do you think they was going to raise the electricity bill? Tell me why. Because Wasa cannot pay T&Tech. The government office that the PNM controlled for 9 years couldn't pay their bills. So hence the reason why Water and Sewer Authority was going to raise their bill for all you to help pay them bill. T&Tech, all you now had to get a price increase. These citizens, so that they could come up with the money to pay T&Tech. It's sad. I didn't understand that kind of level. It's sad. But nevertheless, trying to because we're out of time for tonight. Enjoy the weekend. Be safe. Monday, live, 7 p.m. Until then, good night.